Skin Minx's podcast of the week.
Hi.
I'm Amy.
I'm Charlotte.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Georgie.
And I'm Ben.
Today's podcast is actually based around podcasts. We have normal features, Room 101, things not to do, Ben's story, and an advice to start a podcast so you yourself can also start your very own podcast. And I hope you enjoyed today's show.
And to kick off today's show, we are starting with...
Things not to do.
Yes, that's right, things not to do. We've started this from our first ever podcast, and we like to hear what you think and what you shouldn't do. We've had some quite funny ones in the past about what girls do when they're getting ready, or ways boys think they can get girls when it's on Facebook, etc. But today we're going to do something a bit different. Something a bit more serious maybe, and that's what not to do on a podcast. Rebecca and Georgie have actually gone out to speak to some of you out there and to see what you think we shouldn't do, or maybe what other people shouldn't do while they're doing a podcast.
Long intro music. Excessive banter. Immediately loud intro music.
Yeah, I think some introductory music's too loud.
I think a lot of the time it doesn't even explain what's coming up either, or who they are. And I think if it explains who the person is, then it's alright.
Yeah, if it's just like boom in your face, then you know.
Also, I think the unhelpful names. If like you have a podcast episode name, I mean, like when we name ours the date of when it was recorded.
Because
and
we're
uploaded.
unimaginative.
But I mean, like somebody who puts up a podcast with a ridiculous name that has no relevance to the actual podcast itself. It's just, that's not going to help anyone who's listening to it.
Don't swear when you're recording because you don't know who your viewers are, and even if they are over a certain age, they might still get offended because...
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you do have to like watch what you say, because you could offend someone with just saying something little or something like that. You don't know who's listening.
That's the thing with podcasts though, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's not live, so it's a little bit better because you can pre-record and take things out which are unnecessary, and I think we can all agree with that. Yes, Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlotte?
Some things which are said which aren't supposed to. And especially even things just like singing in the studio about inappropriate things, I think's really something immature and something you really shouldn't do.
I think you shouldn't make songs about people,
if you're
actually.
Doing a podcast, you should be in the professional zone, know what you're doing, and not sing songs.
Right, moving on. Sorry about that. We're going on to Ben's story.
Right, I'm Ben, and this is my short story. Enjoy. With the Easter holidays approaching, my college term ends. I leave college in a rush, a smile on my face. The shuttle bus into town arrives and I get on, sitting down. I relax with my headphones in. The journey's not long, literally 5 minutes or so. The bus stops and I get off, patiently waiting for my next bus home. Within seconds it arrives, eager to get on first and find a seat. I barge past everyone to get on. I amble upstairs. The bus journey lasts around 20 minutes. I get off and it's a 20-minute walk home. Not long. Off the bus I walk into the blistering weather. Rain begins to pour down and I zip my jacket up to my neck with my hood. Getting warm, I cross the road and arrive at the top of my road. Now at my doorstep I rumble through my pockets trying to locate my keys. Seconds pass to my surprise, the door opens itself. Mum glares at me, my heart drops. Am I in trouble? Thoughts scatter throughout my brain. Then she walks off. Alright Ben, she says normally. Bewildered, I reply, yeah, I'm fine. I walk up in my room. Walk into clothes on the floor, crisp wrappers all over my desk, a mess. I dramatically jump onto my bed with exhaustion and close my eyes. My mum rushes into my room with a newspaper sitting in her palms. She hands it to me carefully. My name blared the headline in the newspaper. Liam Lewis killed. In a shock, I get up and look at my mum. She's gone. I call her name repeatedly, nothing. I rush downstairs, calling the rest of my family. Silence. Petrified, I ascend the stairs towards my room, blood dripping down my door. I enter. Nothing, just the same ordinary room. However, the newspaper laid open, as if someone had been reading and scrunched up. The unread pages aside. I take another look. To my surprise, I find my name erased from the newspaper. Disturbing thoughts begin and unfold and I scream in agony. A wave of sadness hits me. They're gone. After seconds, minutes, maybe hours, I pace around the house, the road, everywhere they could be. They're not in sight. No one has heard from them either. Worried not being a word, I return to my house, walk upstairs and enter my room. Suddenly the wind gushes through my door and sends chills down my spine. The newspaper Paper's now flapping around. I pick it up once again. The pages are totally blank. Nothing at all. Words don't describe how I feel. I faint. I wake up. To my surprise, my mum appears in the door. In relief, I hug her gleefully. Never been so happy to see her in my life. She looks back at me and hands me the newspaper. She tells me that she found a page I asked for a couple of days ago. I look at the newspaper. Never wish your life away. The end.
Thank you, Ben. And remember, anyone out there who needs someone to write short stories, email us at misskinminxes@gmail.com and we'll get Ben to reply to you, and I'm sure he'll be happy to do that. Anyway, right now we're moving swiftly on, and we're going to have Charlotte Blaze giving us some advice on what we can do in podcasts. And maybe what's our inspiration?
Yeah, I'm going to basically talk about what we did in our podcasts and our inspirations. So we all remember the week that we did girls and their makeup routines
And getting ready.
Yeah, and definitely one of our big inspirations for that was watching Marcus Butler's
I love
podcast.
Marcus
Yeah.
Butler. Marcus Butler TV, if you want to go check him out.
He's really funny, and most of what he says is true. Like I had actually never seen one of his videos until Amy showed me, and I was just sitting along like, this is so true.
Yeah.
So I got my points for what to say from there, and obviously as we're all, well, we have 4 girls in the studio, and we all knew what it was like getting ready, the stress and all that, so we used them points as well.
If you want to listen to someone who you can just genuinely have a laugh and someone who basically takes the mick out of you a lot, listen to Marcus Butler, really, because he takes the mick out of both girls and guys, so that's good.
Definitely another main point. Every week when we'd have our meeting, we'd all halfway through have a little gossip about something, and then we'd realise this is what we should talk about in our podcast this week. We was talking about Marcus Butler and we was like, and his podcast, and we was like, that's really fun. We should do ours based around girls getting ready, their makeup routines, all of that. And then we was just walking around college talking about boys and how cheesy they are, and we was just like,
As
we
you
should do a
do.
podcast based on that. And that's how we just decided we'd do our whole podcast based on one topic. Obviously, not all the segments would link in, like Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, not all of ours do, but then I think that's a variety in it. Hopefully all you can get involved with them then.
Yeah, and once you've got one base topic, it's really easy to set up your other segments to talk about throughout the whole of your podcast and to make an easy 10-20 minutes podcast.
Each of us are going to give us 1 point of what things we should advise that you should do in a podcast. I think mine would have to be enjoy the topics you're talking about. If you're making your own podcast, make sure that you enjoy what you're talking about and you're not going to do it on something you don't like, because then what's the point, eh?
My point is that you should make it exciting. So, like, we put jingles in ours to kind of liven up the mood. Otherwise, if you're just talking constantly, it's just going to get boring for the listener.
Mine would be, don't give out your exact address or any details of you.
You want people to relate to you, definitely, but obviously don't be stupid and don't tell people where you live, because other people who you might not want to listen will still be listening.
Make sure you're not too loud or quiet. Check before you start that your voice is on the right level for it to be heard properly when it's played on the computer. And that leaves for less editing, because the editing is the longest part. The podcast is whole fun. It's really good fun, and then the editing takes a lot of time to amplify, to cut things out. So just make sure you're speaking at the right level.
As I would know.
Yeah, my would be to get guests in to make it more interesting.
Yeah, I say make sure you have other people in, other voices, so then you have different people to listen to. So we hopefully, well,
More entertaining.
that's why we get our Vox Pops really,
Yeah.
don't we? So I hope all of us has given us you a little bit of advice. If you need any more advice, email us in, and then, you know, we can answer your questions, or if you don't think we've gone into enough detail, we'll let you know then. Anyway, to round this last ever podcast off, we're going to do our own Room 101 again, which I've really enjoyed doing because I love the TV show. And I would like to bring that TV show into the studio and then bring it back out to you. Does that make sense? Oh, I don't know. But anyway, we have Rebecca Buss telling us Room 101.
Okay, so the topic, well, I was going to plan to have podcasting as the topic, but I don't think many of us has actually listened to podcasts that we can moan about. So I'm just going to have it can be about anything, basically. So you can argue about anything that you want to banish to room 101.
Okay, what would I banish? I think I would banish DFS adverts. That's one thing that I can't stand. I understand, and I quite enjoy adverts. I mean, you know, the Little Pony one that's been recently, and what's some other ones? Compare the Meerkat, which is really popular. So there's a lot of adverts that people enjoy watching, but I don't think anyone enjoys watching a sofa just go along the TV screen, and especially as it always says there's a sale. I don't believe there is a sale. I just think it's the same price they always have.
DFS is discount furniture store, so DFS is always going to be cheap or on sale. Why do they need to keep advertising it? Everyone
Yes,
knows that.
see, Charlotte's going to back my point on this one.
I do agree with you on that point, yeah.
So me and Charlotte are as a team together today,
Yeah.
and we're on our side. We have DFS adverts, and we should think that should go to room 101.
Definitely.
I want to ban to room 101 slug eyebrows. When people draw them on and they're literally about, I don't even know, they're just the same size as their forehead and they're just so black and they've got blonde hair. It just annoys me so much, and I think that they should be banned.
I'd banish homework. To be honest, I don't feel the need. I don't think it's like if you're doing work at school. I don't see the point of doing homework when you could just do it at school.
I think probably the DFS one.
Yes, Charlotte.
Because that...
Go on.
I understand you're trying to promote. I mean, you've got competition with like all the other sofa places, but you don't necessarily have to promote. We're going to have a sale every single time.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I said it. So overall, who do you think's won throughout the whole weeks?
Me.
Who's won the most?
Me.
I think it's been even. I think it's been even.
Even. do
We've
you
all
think?
had. I think we've all won at different weeks.
Yeah, I think all of us have won once, haven't they? Oh, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say I've won. And so yeah, I'm happy and I'm expecting a present from everyone. Yay! Anyway, that was the last segment of our final ever podcast. I hope you've enjoyed listening because we've kind of enjoyed making them. Would you say?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have, yeah.
Yeah, we've enjoyed making them, and we have so many bloopers which we've actually saved because they're too funny to get rid of, and we'd love to show them with you. So hopefully we will try and get the bloopers out. We're not sure if we can because we don't want to upset anyone with what we've said because it is genuinely just banter, so we're not sure if we'll do that yet. But yeah, we've enjoyed making it and I hope you've enjoyed listening. So see you later.